Okay, we're live. Welcome everyone to tonight's allotment committee meeting. This is the first time we've had one on Zoom, so apologies for any technical mishaps that we're having. The first item on the agenda is to advise that the chair for 2019/2020 will continue for 2020/2021 as per guidance. This was decided at a full council meeting way back when. Obviously that will change once the new year starts soon. There is no item 2 apparently. Item 3 is apologies for absence. Joe, do you have any apologies?
We've got apologies from Gillian Allen.
Gillian.
She's working, sorry.
Okay. Item 4 is open forum. Have we received any requests for questions, Joe, through the email?
No, none so.
Okay, we've got nothing in the live chat. Item 5, declarations of interest. Does anyone have any declarations of interest to declare?
No.
No. Okay, I didn't think we did. Item 6, meetings of the last minute of the last meeting. Everyone happy with them? Anyone want to move them as a correct record?
Did we? It says rent to be collected. Have we collected it?
Joe?
£70.
We have one outstanding amount.
Right.
And we think it's been an oversight. This person did come in to pay their allotment rent, but it was in the middle of the pandemic and got asked to take it to the post office, and I think forgotten. It's someone who comes in my office quite frequently. The other one was
Is it you?
No.
No, it was someone who might
Yeah.
The other amount was from the plot that's in the middle of the one that's actually flooding, and we've asked them to vacate the plot, so I am not chasing the rent. They didn't use it all last year.
No.
And it's not an individual.
No,
That's all right.
It would be the right thing to chase them, but I can't obviously divulge who it is.
It's all right.
Okay. Item 7 then, reports from site reps. Alan, do you want to go first?
Who?
Alan.
Oh, sorry. Right. Can you put the question again?
Reports from site reps.
Oh, right. Nothing to
Nothing.
report, although I did contact Joanne a few weeks ago about a gate hanging off his hinges, and I don't know whether she's managed to contact the guy who has the allotment.
the gate.
No, I haven't spoke to him yet. It's on my list now.
Okay. Ian.
Oh, can I just come back again there?
Okay, real quick. Yeah.
There was one comment, the clearing out of the culvert at the bottom of the allotments has had a big, well, I think it has, a big effect on stopping flooding. We've certainly had no floods this year like we've had last year, although maybe the rain hasn't been so intense, but it's certainly a marked improvement.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, I mean, that was a big push last year to try and get that cleared. There are still plans to make some improvements to that culvert entrance at some point.
Well, the concrete work and the brickwork is damaged, isn't it?
Right. We don't need to discuss it here, but yeah. Ian, do you want to run through?
Yeah. West Close. They seem all right. There's just one that's just on the verge of being let out again. And apart from, depending what's happening with Mr. Fulshaw, we'll have to sort that out later. Courts Canal, I went down there today and had a look, seeing nobody hadn't been for a long while. Have we got a key for the gate?
They changed the lock.
Yeah, it's not a combination now. They've put another lock on it.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But luckily somebody were there, so that seems all right. There's 2 end pens, but they're a bit scruffy, but they've still got ends on and that sort of thing. So they're all right. And do I look at any others?
No.
Greenfield.
That's Gus.
I know, but he's not here. Did you go
right.
down? Oh, no, you didn't go down. Did you forget you weren't there? You were the only person in this meeting. He probably wasn't there.
Right. There's just that one with chickens that's a mess.
Greenfield, yeah.
Yeah, it could do with tidying up, or else you're going to be left with all rubbish if ever he gives it up. Just wants tidying up because people look at it as they're walking through the park.
Complaints, so
Yeah,
site members.
and he does have more hens than's allowed, but we'll give that a miss at the moment. All the hen problems.
Ian, is it the one to the right of the gate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
be 10, 11, 12. Yeah, he lives on Raynor Road, doesn't he?
I don't know. Possibly 10.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it for me, I think, on allotments.
Yeah. Joyce, have you got anything to report?
Well, Ian, there are 1 or 2 on Damed, but I think Ian will know better because it's about the walls and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you've spoken, so.
there's the wall on Damed that's fallen down last year. And somebody's complained about the trees on the banking. They're coming over into his allotment. He ain't getting any sunlight because there's that many trees and they're getting that big, the bushes, that he wants to know if Pendle would do anything for him to clear them of that.
So on the wall on Dam Head, we last year when it was requested, we wrote through Pendle to ascertain who had ownership of the wall and responsibility. The woman who I was emailing has left Pendle Borough Council and it hasn't been passed on to anyone. So about 3 weeks ago, when Ian reminded me, I've gone back to this chap and he's gone back to the new person who's taken over and asked them to look at the deeds and find out who has ownership. We think, please don't die on me. We think it's the houses on Gisborne Street that own them.
Yeah.
Now, Pendle have done like a makeshift repair to make sure it's not going to collapse on anybody, but however, it needs a permanent fix. As far as the trees on the banking on the other side, I've spoken to Lee Johnson, who said he will go out and have a look next time he's in Barnoldswick.
Right. No worries then, I'll tell
I haven't
you.
since, I don't think he's been, Tom, do you?
No, it would let you know. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've got anything you can get onto.
Yeah. I'll let the allotment holder know that they're looking into it.
Yeah, so I wanted, he said to me, he were making sure they owned it, and he's looked and he said they did own it, but he wanted to come and look at them before he did anything with it.
Right. No
Can
worries.
I ask, if the wall belongs to the householder,
Yeah,
so what if he just says, so what?
I think they've got a legal responsibility to maintain it.
Okay.
I mean, the likelihood is that it is the house.
Yeah.
owner.
We've been here before, haven't we?
We have.
It was, and nothing happened. So
Yeah, I mean, we as we say, they have a legal responsibility as a riparian owner. If
So
you're
you
on top
can-
of a retaining wall, you are responsible for maintaining.
yeah,
it.
so you can as Pendle Council.
And we as the town council who own the land underneath that could use legal action to enforce them to.
Oh right, okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Whether we need to or not, I mean, it's just a question of getting them to act and to.
Yeah.
They'll have to have
They
letters
might
and-
not even know that it's their wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
In terms of the plot with the encroaching trees, would it not be an idea to offer them to put them to the top of the list and then offer that plot to someone who wants to keep pens? Just as a.
I think it's a very well established plot.
Yeah,
he has done quite a bit of work and he's been down and done part, but they're getting bigger and bigger and coming over onto allotment plot. And as he says, he ain't getting the sunlight till into afternoon and then it's gone. So we'll see what Pendle say.
And if they can only have 6 ends on, it's not.
Yeah. They could always attack it with a chainsaw himself. Yeah.
As long as they don't have a TPO.
Right, but I think that's it for Damed.
Okay, anything else?
There's Hardy Avenue, isn't there? I don't, because they haven't got a rep on there.
Have they not?
No. Either Hardy Avenue.
I mean, we can report that we've split up one of the plots into 4 and put
Yeah.
a path in, new fence in,
Yeah.
and let out 4 on there.
Yeah.
There's a site on there that has a bit of a drainage problem.
A bit.
Is that fact?
Understatement of the year. I mean, we talked to the drainage engineer at Pendle, and he gave us a bit of a solution for that.
Yeah.
So we'll see really.
Yeah.
A massive thank you to Tom and Ian for spending all that time putting those fence panels and paths in and all the rest of it. Thank you. It was very much appreciated. He made a lovely job of it.
We've just to let the last site out.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh, brilliant.
That's tomorrow.
So just so everyone's aware on that plot, when we got to the plot to have a look round, a member of the public who lived on Priory Way, it was obvious at the bottom, I don't know, I want to say 2 or 3 meters of the plot had been sort of fenced off, and someone was maintaining the conifers on there, and it would appear that the last owner had allowed the homeowner to do that. So bearing in mind, if the conifers were cut down, it will be whoever was on the allotment plot will be able to look straight into his bedroom windows. We have given him a tenancy, so he can't claim, is it adversarial rights to the land? So he's got a proper tenancy agreement. He's paying a nominal sum each year. He's going to maintain the trees for us, but it maintains his privacy, but also means that we don't have to look after the trees.
Yeah.
So technically, that one plot is now 5.
Yeah.
But I mean, the section that we're talking about isn't really workable. I'd say it's not more than 2 meters, really.
I don't think it's not big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Item 8, allotment vacancies, waiting list, and update on rent collection. Oh, this is yours.
Yep, so which bit was it first? Sorry, I'm trying to type at the same time. So allotment vacancies, at the minute we have just got the one plot, which is being shown around by somebody tomorrow. Ian's showing somebody at 10 in the morning. She's keen, so I can't see her not taking it. The waiting list, which was in one of my things, today has grown by another 4, maybe 5. I've got another while I've been sat here. Is currently 127 people long. Rent collection, 46 tenants of the 120 have already paid. I mean, they're very early because they don't have to pay until the end of this month. So we've collected £2,136 of the 5,298 that we collect in a year for the 120 plots. I've got one request. I've had a request from an ex-plot holder for a skip for Hardy Avenue, the bottom one.
Right. What's the skip for?
Pendy, which most of you all knew it was, has vacated a plot, and he wants us to provide a skip for the new plot holder to help him get it straight.
Who's asked for the skip?
The person who had 10D.
Pardon?
The person who had 10D.
Well, if he's asking for the plot, why didn't he clear his plot in the first place before he left it? I'll just leave it at that, have I?
So do you agree? I've got to have the expenditure agreed if we're going to order it.
I mean, it's not very usual for us to get a skip. I mean, usually people would just fill up the boot of the car and take it to the household waste recycling centre.
Yeah. I find it a bit rich to the person that vacated the plot and left all the rubbish there is asking for the council to pay for a skip to clear his rubbish away. But maybe on that note, I'll leave it.
Do you want me to speak to the new plot holder?
I'm not bothered. I'm not
Yeah,
bothered, but I just find it a bit,
I know.
yes. Yeah.
So do you want me to
Whatever.
speak to them and see if it's needed and or if it could be got rid of some other way? Yeah.
Whatever.
If you put
I
a skip,
can't see any other
be
plots.
filled.
that are-
Well,
every
the
other
problem
plot
with his
that
skip-
site is straight.
where would you put the skip?
that's the other question. Where would you put the skip?
I don't know.
Because if they turn up and cars are parked there, they can't put it. Do you want me to see it's him that's got it?
Do you know it? Do you know him well? Yeah. Right. Okay.
I'll go and see him and
We
see what
can
he
provide
wants.
some, like wheelie bin bags and stuff if you want stuff to put it in to take it.
Yeah.
So his car don't get mucked up.
Yeah. I'll call and see. He's only round the corner.
If any of it's like stuff that you can't take to skips for whatever reason, we've got the empty. Well, when they get emptied next week, we do have some skips at the side of the Civic Hall that could be used because Civic Hall's not producing any waste at the minute.
Yeah. I'll call and see what he wants to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just once, while you're on about vacancies
Yeah.
on allotments, when that picture of me and Tom doing Hardy Avenue, somebody put on there that she'd applied for an allotment ages ago and hadn't heard anything. A Shannon Farmer. And I think, well, that's it. I don't know. Oh, I'm not just she's not on the list. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's something we need to look at now, but I didn't know if you knew.
She might be.
Really on.
And you've got thrown off in November.
Oh, I think that's
That was a chat from EAB. I had a conversation with him last night.
I thought it must be.
Yes, we guess so.
EAB.
Yeah.
Purchased a house in EAB with an allotment plot at the bottom. Made an assumption that the allotment plot was coming with a house. So the renewals are through. They've realised it's not the same plot holder and they've evicted him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which one of them intake?
Yeah.
They're waiting. EAB's waiting list is 3 years long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've got empty sites.
Oh.
Well, what people perceive to be empty sites, isn't it? Some of ours.
Yeah. Right. So I'm not sure if that Sharon Farmer lives in Barlick.
I've never heard of her.
Oh. Well, I did. Oh, we better not go into that. I did click her up and.
No.
Yeah. I'll speak to you later. Yeah. Right. Carry on.
Item 9 then, land at Greenfield. So some of you have a bit of a background on this already. Basically, as you know from last item, we've got quite a long waiting list, longer than we've probably ever had it in a while, which has all sort of sprung up from COVID-19. Usually we would look into acquiring land, but the council already has land, and we could make a recommendation to the full council to make allotment sites on the council's land. Just share my screen. There we go. Can everyone see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the allotments at Greenfield Lane already. This is the barn, the access track. Just to the left here is Gisborne Road. So this parcel of land here on the bottom and this larger parcel of land are both currently used as grazing sites and are currently rented out under a 364-day grazing license, which means that every year it's supposed to go out to tender, and people can tender for using that for the next 364 days. That's coming up to an end in about 20 days. And what I'm sort of thinking is using this site here and part of this larger site, we could make more allotment plots to take down our list, as well as creating some parking space in this red area. This yellow line here is the 24 foot wide footpath, which we've given into before. I'll zoom in a bit.
Does it go through there?
No.
It's complicated. So the person who is under the grazing license in this site here also has an allotment plot with us on a different site. We were discussing it with him and considering the work is put into the site, improving it. We came to a view that it would be worthwhile creating a larger plot at the bottom end and encasing the banking of the beck here, to then give a tenancy agreement to as an allotment plot at a larger rate, that he could continue to keep his fowl on. The reason for leaving the beck in is it's waterfowl and it's not workable anyway as an allotment site. Up by the trees, we could use that for hen pens, because we do have demand for those. And then we were suggesting that part of this larger field here could also be used for allotments, which we came to a view on
There, isn't it?
the day. The reason why we're not looking at this larger side here is the council as a whole has a view that it wants to maybe develop woodland or a pump track or something else of a more sort of public amenable space. So that's where we are. I mean, I'll open up the floor here.
Yes, I was there, I had a look at it with the others. That larger patch there seems absolutely perfect. There's no tree shade, it's sloping for drainage, and it's big enough, even as it's only a third of that big patch, to make very good use of. I'm entirely for that as well. Excuse me, as well as dividing the existing fowl grazing patch that you're talking about.
Okay. Anyone else want to come in?
Yeah,
Agree
can
with
I put
Chris.
my 2 penny in? It strikes me that if you're going to allow hen pens on there, you're making a rod for your own back with respect to other allotment sites. Obviously, you're going to have 2 different sets of rules, one for that particular site and one for other sites where keeping hens is going to be banned.
No, we allow up to 6 hens on any allotment site. It's in the tenancy agreement, which is the same for everyone. But the idea is we would leave those as only hen pens, and then if people specifically want those, they can have them, because otherwise with the tree roots there, they're not going to be workable as a site for growing.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll reevaluate my understanding of the allotment agreement.
Alan, did you want to come in?
I was just saying that I agree with Chris. I was there this afternoon as well, and we had a walk around, and that seems like the best thing to do.
Okay. Ian and Joyce?
How are you developing it? You know, to what extent are you going to do the top side? You know, are you putting water on? Are you rotavating it or ploughing it, or to what extent are you thinking of going? Or is that not decided yet?
I think we need to
Depends-
decide that here as our recommendation. I mean,
Right.
what do you think?
Well, I know with Greenberfield, we ploughed it. I think we weed killed it and then ploughed it before we did anything. Because of the amount of grass, you might need to mow it to get rid of the grass that's already on it, because it's fairly thick, isn't it? And then to plough it, and I don't know, you need to, I can't remember, I think we got Morehouse to do it. And he'd probably know better whether it wanted more ploughing and rotavating at the same time. But if you're going to do it, I think you do it right and put water on.
Yeah.
Because there must
we
be
do-
water.
We can get a water supply from the road, or there is a water supply on the far side next to the access track to the park. We need to look at if it's cheaper to run the water from our current supply or create a new supply closer to the site, whichever way there.
It'll be.
Probably from the road, isn't it? Because it's not, they're not cheap, aren't waterboard, are they?
No, it costs lots of
I
money.
think it were about over £1,000 just to connect it last time.
3,000.
Oriel Gardens.
Yeah,
And we laid the pipes.
What's saying we down?
yeah.
Greenberfield.
Must have gone up since we did Greenberfield. I'm sure it were £1,000 and we laid the pipe. Yeah.
But we're only going across the road. Yeah.
So anyhow, it's things you can look into, isn't it? And see what it's going to cost.
Where's the water meter at Greenberfield? Does anyone know?
The one, yeah,
At some point, will you show me?
yeah. Yeah. It's hidden at the back of the hedge.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because I'll have to go round and turn waters on. Yeah. Right, that's all me on it.
Joyce?
No, I'm nothing to say. That hasn't been said.
Okay. Jodie, have you got a view?
I know Joe told me the other week, but how many plots are we going to get on there? Just for the growing ones, we know about the hens.
Well, I reckon for the smaller section, we could probably get maybe 20-ish, not including the bigger one. And then the larger section on the opposite side of the access road, probably upwards of 40, perhaps
That would
50.
make a massive dint in our waiting list, definitely.
So 60 would get us down to May 2020.
Oof.
So it's not even going to be a
Yeah,
year.
but they're not all going to one plot. They'll all give half will be Patford.
Yeah.
I've gone down to number 21 on the list and emailed all the ones we had an email address for and just said, can you just let me know, do you still live in Barnoldswick? Do you still want a plot? Blah, 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 blah. And all but one still wanted one.
Yeah. It's a lot better response than when we tried to put them up Letcliffe.
I know.
Yeah.
And then after that post last night, I've got, I think I got 3 last night and I've got another 2 today.
Just keep things off Facebook.
No.
Yeah.
Some of them being the householders on Gisborne Road who've had their land, and had the land sold because of the development happening. So that might be something to consider further down the line from a council point of view.
Yeah, there is a question mark on, do we let people who have lost their gardens there have first dibs on a site here? So I think that's more a full council decision rather than an allotments committee decision.
I do think there are only 4 and only 2 of those 4 have got the name down on the list.
Okay.
There's
But like I say, they've come last night.
There's a couple of the houses are up for sale, aren't they? So
Probably
they bought
why.
it without, probably without the gardens, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My worry is these people have got established gardens and the land's going to be flattened. Where's all those plants going to go?
Barlick in bloom.
You can suggest
Valley
that.
Gardens.
Oh, yeah.
If somebody puts them in.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
What's the resolution then? To develop, to recommend to full council.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone happy with the plan that I put up in terms of sort of spacing?
So,
And
Tom, will you just put it back up and tell me, just point to the bits that you're talking about?
can do. I mean, it won't be exact because
No.
we need a proper plan, really.
Hang on one second.
So this is the larger site, the green bit. The red is the parking. There is an option we could put the parking up here or even on the brow of the hill here, or if people are just happy there.
Great parking.
I'm sure these people complain.
Yeah, you might, as Joyce just says, you might get complaints off the farm if you put parking on their side of their drive. You never know. Whereas going over the top towards sewerage field, it's not used land, is it? And it might create some soil.
If you went which way, Ian? Sorry.
Going over, as though you're going over to sewerage field,
Yeah.
there's all that banking, that all the soil that came off the road before, that they moved over towards the fence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is I notice odd people do park there from Boothman's.
Yeah. Well, all the land were all mulched up this morning.
Yeah. And it would make it easier for doing allotments that you haven't got a car park. If you're going laying it out into sections. Anyhow.
I mean, the advantage at the brow of the hill is if you want to wheel anything, you're always going to be wheeling the heavy load downhill.
Yeah.
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 What we really want to avoid is people wanting to park in this bus turning circle.
Yeah.
So if the parking's too far away from these guys, they're just going to park there and the bus won't be able to turn around.
No.
Does the bus turn around there?
Yeah.
It were backing
does,
up.
yeah.
It were backing up Brogden Lane the other day when I went down.
Oh.
Maybe someone.
So I didn't know whether
Something in the
No,
way.
probably somebody parked.
No, they weren't, because I walked over there.
Right.
Yeah, and it
I
was just
struggled
backing up
getting down
Brogden Lane.
today.
Right, fair enough.
There was a truck parked at the end of the road, so there'd have been no way a bus would have got down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is a problem with the bus turning circle. Can't we simply recommend that it be signed or marked or something?
I think
it has
parking.
a single yellow line around it, which indicates no stopping at any time.
And a sign.
It's been knocked over.
It has. We'll pick that up.
Yeah.
Not guilty.
Anyway.
I suppose it depends how much you can do as to how much money is available to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many cars can you park on there?
I'd only be guessing.
20?
Yeah. I mean, we can make it larger or smaller. It doesn't need to be this exactly. I mean, we could do with deciding if it's up here or down here, or.
Do we think there would be an issue from farm?
No, the fine.
All right, so
Yeah.
you've checked them.
Well, even these people here, I thought they were awkward.
They've got a footpath through the garden.
Well, they think they diverted it when they bought the land, but the definitive map says otherwise. So it's a difficult one.
Oh, it's 24 foot wide. Where the hell have they diverted it to?
It gets smaller as it gets to the bottom.
It's widest
right.
here.
Yeah, it's the first something like 96 meters is the X, and then the next bit's another one, then the next bit's another one, and then the last bit is 1.8 meters.
It was the clerk at Urban District Council that we can blame for this.
It'll have been Jackie Weaver. He was probably working 50 years ago.
Right. What do people think?
Yeah, I'm happy to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to support that.
Okay. Everything clarified there? Anyone have any burning questions?
No.
Okay, that's the end of the meeting then. Thank you all for coming. Wish you all a safe journey home.
Sat at home.
I might
Or
go
to
from
the-
one sofa to that
Where
one.
are
over
you,
there.
Tom?
or to the kitchen for a brew
Yeah.
or whatever you want. Yeah, good night. Thank you everyone who watched at home. Gus was watching on the live stream. Apparently you couldn't get into the Zoom, unfortunately.
Right.
So we'll look forward to seeing your face next time, Gus. Right.
His dulcet tones.
Right.
I might be emailing these all out in a minute. Has everyone, is live stream got off?
No.
No. No.
Hello, Jodie.
Hello, you all right, Joyce?
Yes, thanks to you.
Yes, thank you.
Right.